I'm going to show you how you can use Adobe Illustrator to design your building to scale. You already know some of the basics for creating something for the laser cutter, but there are some things you want to do a little bit differently in order to create this particular building. So I'm going to show you some things you may not have used in Illustrator, and we're going to set it up just a little bit differently. So when it opens, remember the first thing you need to do is create a new one, and it's going to ask you to set the size for your artboard. We're going to name this project with your last name, underscore, and then building. If you have multiple pieces to your building that aren't all going to fit on one cut, you can name them the same thing but add building 2, 3, and so forth. So you're going to have one artboard. We want to make sure it's in inches, and this time we're going to make it 12 by 12 instead of 4 by 4. So I'm giving you a little bit more space to work with. And then you click OK. Now I have my new artboard. And for this one, I would start with creating your shapes. So let's say the main part of your building is a rectangle, and you're going to be cutting out this wall of your building. The nice thing is if you have this window transform open over here, you can set the exact dimensions for this piece. If you don't have this showing, you can go to Window and choose Transform. So once we have this, let's say I wanted mine to be, we're going to do the width and height. So maybe 6 inches wide by 2 inches tall. So now I have it exactly the size that I want. And we can move it around. And you're going to want, most of the time you're going to want more than one of each wall because you're going to have a 4-sided building. So first let's start by actually adding our windows. So again, you should already have decided the size of your windows from your drawing, and you can set them over here. So the windows may be very small, like it may even be more like 0.15 inches. And you can also change your view on here. So I have it at 94%. Sometimes it might be easier to view it a little bit larger, even 150%, especially on your large screens, you can do that because some of the pieces get pretty small. So now I can see, so something that's going to be really handy is using your copy and paste. So I can Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Another thing that's handy, it's handy with your windows too, is pasting, copying and pasting. And then you get a couple more windows. Once you get them about where you want, you don't want your windows to look messy like this. So you can drag around, oops, you can either hold down the Shift key and select, or drag around things to select multiple things at once. And then you want to go to your Align palette. So again, if it's not showing up, you can go to Window and make sure that Align is one of the options. And I can make sure that they are aligned in the center, and I can also distribute them. so that they're evenly spaced out. And you're going to want to make sure that everything is nice and neat on here. I'd also suggest actually waiting until you get your whole side designed before you drag around to select it all and then copy the whole thing. Control C and Control V so that you have everything together. Another important feature is to group things can be really handy. And you want to decide, remember that anything black is going to be etched. If you want the entire window etched in, then I would change the fill to black on your windows as well. And I'm just using up at the top here is one way to do the fill, and over on the left you can also change it. So fill over here, oops, go to the fill, and you can change it to black. So you're going to keep designing, scaling it, making it the right size, and figuring out which pieces you need cut. And then also remember now, once I'm done, that this line, anything I want cut needs to be yellow and it needs to be 0.25. So once you have figured out, sometimes it's harder to see the line, so I wait till the end to turn it yellow, but that needs to be yellow before it's going to cut. And then you're going to save it into the S drive, and there will be a special folder under Schlegel and students for the future city buildings. All right, good luck.